Hello, everyone. Good evening. There we go. Good evening. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back to Twilight Princess. I am just getting everything set up. Might have my hood up or down tonight because I've got my nice big snuggly thing. So I'm not going to do it now, but you get the idea. Anyway, just getting set up. I have to light my incense. Oh, my big barbecue lighter's running out. I need to refill it. Anyway, good evening, everyone. Merry Christmas. Christmas season. I mean, hope you had a Merry Christmas. Let's put it that way. Christmas is, unfortunately, over-ish, but it's still the season. At least for now. Alright, once I get this lit, we're going to get right back into things and finish up the Snow Peak Ruins. Honestly, one of my favorite temples in all of the Legend of Zelda series. Not necessarily just for its, level design and all that kind of stuff, but just aesthetically. And like I was talking about last time, the fact that it is such a... It's a unique aesthetic design, and it's so diegetic to the world that I very, very greatly enjoy it. And besides, I've always liked the sort of ice levels, the ice type temples or whatever they are. Anyway, I like it. I like it a lot. Let's get right back into it, shall we? And I will hopefully not set my robe on fire. That was a little bit close. Let's move this. Move things around a little bit. There we go. Oh. Also, I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but you can see my breath because I have the windows open. It's currently 41 degrees and falling. And I am thrilled by that. Could not be happier. Yeah, nice cozy evening for a stream. Okay. Here we go. Alright. So, in slightly game-related, but not directly related news. Oop, that's not the right button. Oopsie. Anyway, in slightly game-related, but not completely game-related news, I have, I didn't do anything either. I know I have to do something with this, because... Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. It's... Yay. Wow, that was silly of me. Anyway, moving on. Whoops. Where do we need to get to? Over there on the right. Oh, there's a chest up there. So yeah, let's go up that way. Top left. And that's where we need to get to. Oh, that's where we need to get to anyway. Alright, yeah, so let's... There's chests in here. Why am I missing two chests in here? Right at the entrance. Oh, I get it. Move, please. That didn't... What? Hey. Move! Thank you. Nice. Okay, cool. Anyway. So, as we recall, we have in one of our empty bottles, Yeto's superb pumpkin, cheese, and fish soup, which I had the brilliant idea to make over this week. Or this weekend, I guess. It turned out pretty good. It's not let me put it this way, it's way better than it really has any right to be, because everything about that combination just kind of sounds off-putting, you know? Like, pumpkin, fish, and cheese, just... I don't know, doesn't seem like it should work. But it really, really does. It's not amazing. Now, okay, the problem I have with it is that I use salmon. Because, let's be real, this game, in the game, the actual in-game, like, model and stuff, it's very clearly salmon. Right, yeah, it's called a reek fish, but it's just a salmon. So, so I use salmon for it. Which, I mean, it turned out okay. It was okay. It was pretty good. The actual base of the soup, which is, essentially you start with, caramelized onions. I added garlic, because the recipe did not have garlic, because it's based on, like, some kind of weird Northern European, like, Icelandic or whatever kind of recipe. Which, like, yeah, I guess they don't use garlic as much as, the rest of, like, Southern Europe, which is a real shame. Everyone should use copious amounts of garlic in their cooking. Yeah, it's a little bit harvesty, I suppose. Autumn rather than winter. Then again, we don't have much in terms of seasons here, so... in any case. Yeah, let's go up let's go here. I think we can claw shot up the next level. I think. Right? Can I reach that? No. Well, there's not a door there anyway. No, okay, we gotta go back through. Never mind. Don't put me in a Creed, Imp Simp. That's just weird. Thank you, though. It'd be really funny if that landed on me and did damage. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay. Anyway, the soup was good. Like I said, so you start with basically caramelized onions, which I almost wish I hadn't, like, fully caramelized. I'm wondering if it might have been better had I just, like, browned them, basically, like, slightly, rather than fully caramelizing, because I fully caramelized them, which are usually really, really, really good in recipes and things, but I don't know, it gave it a little bit of a, I mean, I'd say a burnt note, but that's kind of redundant, because of course it is. But, I don't know. I mean, it was good. Caramelized onions are always good, but I'm wondering if maybe I shouldn't have. No, that's not helpful. Coming back. Wait, which Creed I've seen going? I don't know if I've seen another Creed going around, have I? Break the ice. Well done, Ibsen. Thank you for that. Anyway, so start off caramelized onions. You deglaze with seafood stock or fish stock. Then add roasted pumpkins, roasted pumpkin chunks. I used puree, pumpkin puree, just for simplicity's sake. How do I get up there? I'll have to go over there, don't I? Yeah. Hmm. This is all rather maze-like, isn't it? I don't think I need to go through the courtyard, do I? Oh, not the Sparkle Creed. Oh, God. Is that back in the news again? I hate this. This should not be in the news. Like, we should just ignore it, and maybe it'll go away. Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. No, I've seen that. I've seen it, and like I said, I think we should ignore it and just hope it goes away. Probably the best approach, really. I got him. Yeah. Is it? I did it. Oh, you can break the chairs, too. Are you looking into more Far Eastern history and culture? Very cool. I've always been fascinated by ancient China, at the very least. In terms of, Far Eastern civilizations. Like Qin Dynasty, kind of ancient. No, not in here. This isn't right. So once you've deglazed, then like I said, I just added pumpkin puree, which works fine. Works absolutely fine, no problems there. Let that simmer for a while to combine all of the flavors with, again, the fish stock. Then just added chunks of salmon to cook right near the end. It was very good. It was quite simple, but it's got a good, rich, kind of very autumn kind of flavor. Oh, come on! Just do it this way. Bastard. There we go. I did it. Oh, you Middle Eastern. Oh, okay, okay. I find Far Eastern history at least to be more interesting, but that's. I don't have a key, do I? No, okay. Not yet. But anyway, like I said, like I was saying, I think that the salmon was not a great choice. Salmon has too much of a flavor profile on its own, and kind of overpowered everything else a bit. It didn't take on the flavor of the soup so much as it tastes like soup and it tastes like salmon, So I think it would have been better with a more neutral fish, something like cod or pollock or something like that. Maybe even something with a little flavor, little bite to it, but like more, again, neutral, kind of white fish. Oh, that's right. This is what I need to do. Okay, so I think I have an idea of how to do this. Okay. Oh, wait, I get it. Okay, hold on. That was silly. Let's fix this. Anyway, summary conclusion. I think Yeto is absolutely on to something with his soup recipe. It just needs a little tweaking, and maybe not the refish. I know it's what's local for him. I know it's what's available, but like I said, though, I do think that I think there's some real potential, and I think that he's a little tweaking, but it could be really good. I will probably make it again. I mean, I still have some in the fridge. I'm gonna finish it, but I also made another soup today, so I made a Thai beef noodle soup, which is very good. One of my favorites. Perhaps my favorite soup, which is saying something, because soup is my favorite food, as I've said before. Anyway, I was gonna have some like while I was streaming, but I'm just gonna go with my coffee with whipped cream and my eggnog over there. You can't see it. The camera's not picking up the seeing of my breath. Unfortunate. Okay, Imsip asks, do you think one day they'll say Jesus is God and there is no God but Jesus? Would this be a denial of the Father or the Holy Spirit, or is it acceptable for Middle Eastern Christians to say? I think that, I mean, unless you're deliberately saying it with that intention as a Muslim, I mean, they wouldn't say there is no God but Jesus, but, so let me put it this way. Muslims say that specifically to deny the Trinity, right? That is the purpose in their phrasing. Their phrasing is meant specifically to deny the Trinitarian nature of God. They think that it's polytheism because they misunderstand it, frankly. And so you could mean it in that way and thereby deny the Father and the Holy Spirit, or at least their godhood, which would obviously be heretical, right? You can't just do that. Smash. Okay, here we go. But I do think that you can intend that phrase, right? There is no God, but there is no God, but let me reread it exactly. Jesus is God, and there is no God but Jesus. I think that is, like, strictly speaking, that is true. I'm sorry for breaking all your furniture, guys. That is strictly true because of the co-indwelling of the persons of the Trinity. But if you don't accept that already, then yeah, some issues are going to arise. Like, the issues are going to pop up, obviously. Now what? Where's that locked door? Shoot. Wasn't there. Not there. Oh, it was south of here. Okay, it was the south. Got it. Or was it up a floor? Oh, this is Yeto's room. It was up there. Okay, got it. All right, I can do this. Not dumb. Trust me, I know things. Yeah, so denial of the fatherhood of God is its own, or wait, yeah, that's... Yeah, I don't know why they would do that. I guess... Okay, so here's why you would theoretically want to do that. Let's work through this, right? So denying the... Let's say, okay, so fatherhood is a strictly... Oh, shoot. Relational property. Oh, no. This is very bad. Right, so fatherhood is a strictly relational property. Right, and if God is ase, this is actually the kind of debates that you had in the Middle Ages among Christians as well. So this wasn't strictly restricted to Islamic theology. Right. If God is ase, I mean, in other words, requiring nothing else to be himself and to contain his essence, then God can have no properties, no relational properties, especially. Boink. Oh, shoot. And so to save the absolute aseity and sovereignty of God, you can deny qualities like fatherhood. But then you also have to deny transcendent properties like love, right? God can't be love because love is a relational property, right? Love is not exactly relational, but it's... I mean, yes, it's transcendental in the sense that it's perfectly convertible with goodness. But more relevantly for purposes of our discussion here, love is, was it transitive, I guess you'd say, right? To be love is to love someone and or something. So God requires something beyond merely his own essence in order to be love. Love is necessarily, by its very nature, incomplete, at least incomplete, in solitude, let's say. In solitude. And for God, for any monotheist, you can't deny that God requires being, other beings to exist, for God to be God, right? God is independent of other beings, right? Perhaps obviously, perhaps not. I tend to think this is obvious because I'm a theologian. Not technically a theologian, but I study theology substantially. No, where is the damn ball? Oh, they're all right there. Okay. Yeah, God cannot depend upon creation in order to exist, and that means that God cannot have any relational properties unless there's more than one person in the divine essence, which is where some theologians, this is a minority position, but I kind of hold it. You can argue that the nature of the Trinity can be derived or at least justified by this kind of exploration, by this kind of noticing that there are properties that are transcendental, that are therefore divine, and therefore belong to the divine essence, that cannot exist if God is unitary. So therefore God must be at least binary. And then you can make further arguments, which I'm not as well versed in, for God necessarily being Trinitarian, having to do with the emanation of a third person from if God is love, then the love of God is a unique and wholly substantial divine aspect. Right? Now you can make an argument that maybe that the divine love, therefore, is the emanation of being, right? So being emanates from God, and that's what creation is. And so you have a binary God, and the third person, not person on this view, is creation. But we know that's incorrect, right? But that's hard to rule out, I think. I don't know if I could philosophically rule that out. Blast this little bastard. There we go. Oh! Yeah, Muslims don't view God as love either. You're right. They are servants or slaves of God rather than children, whether natural or adopted, children of God. So you're right. I don't know if they would deny that God is love, but they do deny that God at least necessarily loves us. Nice. Got him, boss. Oh, this is where the boss room is. Okay. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright, I've explored everywhere except right where I need to go. Alright, we're basically done with this. But yeah, I do think that, Adam, I do think that you're largely right. Again, I would hesitate to say that Muslims outright deny that God is love. But I do think that they have a lot of caveats on it, and they can deny that God is love without contradicting other, at least some other elements of their theology. There might still be issues in there, and so they might have to accept that God is love in some ways. In some contexts, that sort of thing. Oh, jeez. Die already. Really? That wasn't so bad. How many hearts does this? 8 hearts. Okay, I'm not going to use it yet. Fucking bastards. I love that there's a chapel in here. I kind of hate that I'm smashing a lot of it, but I love that there is a chapel in this place. I honestly, like, I should replicate this, this whole, dungeon, this mansion, practically speaking, for D&D. This would make a really good, D&D location. That is tough love, Imsim says. Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's a weird way of putting it. I think that I think it's easy to misconstrue that. Oh my god, the bedroom key is shaped like a heart. Of course it is. Why not? That kind of chalet. This is a. Were they honeymooning here? Is that what I'm gathering? Ooh, we finally found the key. That sure took a while. But that mirror shard is as good as ours. Let's go back down to Yeto. Get some more soup. Love soup. Soup's so good. Imsim says, my sister always asks if God is all-powerful and all-loving. Where their children starve... Oh, hi, Yetta. Why are their children starving to death? Why are there diseases and war? Classic anti-God rhetoric through the she remains Catholic. I mean, there are all sorts of answers to the problem of evil. The problem of evil, the problem of suffering, whichever version you prefer. I don't know if that's quite the right way of putting that, but you know what I mean. C.S. Lewis does a good job of it in The Problem of Pain. Planning does a good job in The Free Will Defense. Then again, that doesn't tackle natural evils. The best response I know of, which is really hard to find solid academic writing on, which is weird, because it's mostly been apologists rather than like proper philosophers working on the issue. The best response I know of to the problem of natural evil is the... oh my gosh, the incense is going right in my face. Sorry. A little much. Would be the theodicy from the consistency of the world. So essentially, that part of why there is suffering is as a result of the world being consistent and reasonable. If it were not consistent and reasonable, then we would not be able to understand it. Right? The world would be irrational and nonsensical. First of all, God doesn't want that. God doesn't create an irrational world. Hey, John, how you doing? Because God is logos, it's logic, is reason itself. But then also, because it would constitute more suffering on the part of his creatures if we could not understand and therefore interact with the world in a reasonable, sensible way, right? Because if, for example, you might ask, okay, why do which one of your examples? Disease. Okay. Well, why is it that microorganisms work in the way that they do? Well, because the laws of biology work in a consistent manner. And for there to be a gut biome that does the job that it's supposed to do, some of those bacteria, following those same natural laws, as created by God, are going to be harmful under some circumstances. And so that's why these things have to work out this way. I don't think you can create a world. I don't think it's reasonable to expect a world, or even possible to expect a world, which is consistent. In other words, that follows a series of natural laws, which does not involve any suffering. I don't think it's possible. Think of it this way, right? Watch this. Here's my hot coffee. It's very nice, very hot, very pleasant. One of the wonderful things about the world. Great. What happens if I do this? I press my hand on the outside of the ceramic mug. It hurts. Oh, a little bit. Now, if this were hotter, if I did that half an hour ago, when I just poured this thing, that would have burned my hand. My hand would be red right now. Not significantly, but pretty bad, right? For the world to exist in a way that's consistent, understandable, and that we can interact with it in a consistent, understandable way, there have to be things that exist consistently. Well, maybe you could say, well, maybe God could just prevent that from hurting me. I could be impervious to any kind of damage. Well, what would that mean? It just means that, well, I don't obey the laws of physics anymore, or biology, or whatever. The physicality of my body is part of me, part of my humanity. And so, if I want to understand myself, I would be then incapable of doing so, because I wouldn't make sense. Or, well, maybe God is going to change the exterior temperature of my mug arbitrarily such that it won't burn me if I go to touch it. Well, then, how is that in any way predictable? I can't do any kind of scientific reasoning or understanding of ceramics. I don't know how ceramic works. I can't understand it, because it changes on a whim, depending on if somebody's about to get hurt by it. It doesn't work. Right? So in order for the world to make sense, suffering has to happen in some way or another. So that's my short version of it. I've got a longer video on the subject. I'll link it below in the description after the fact. If you search my channel for Problem of Evil, there should be like, I think, like 3 videos, give or take. It's, I think, the most recent one, Solving the Problem of Evil or something like that, where I outlined it in a lot more detail. Jimson says, sometimes I can't stand historical series. Started watching Vikings Valhalla. Oh, that one. Oh, that one. I watched like the first season of Vikings, and I had to stop for exactly the reasons you're describing. Um, so many inconsistencies and more misportrayal of Catholicism. Nordic Christian converts actively hunt pagan pilgrims. They're also portraying Christian Danes wanting to mass murder Norse Danes. Of course they are. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they do that? Because, historians hate the fact that our civilization is entirely built upon Christianity. And Hollywood types hate that even more. And they rely on the historians who hate us to justify their own nonsense. So there you go. Anyway. Yeah, Vikings and Vikings Valhalla, those series are primarily responsible for the rebirth and of sort of current Norse neo-paganism. Between that and the MCU and Thor and Loki and stuff. Yeah, that and I swear, if that hadn't took off, and if any of the adaptations of the wait, is it Peter Jackson? Not Peter Jackson. The Olympians one, the Greek mythology based one. If any of those adaptations, Percy Jackson, that's it, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. If those adaptations had taken off more, like Norse flavored stuff had and has in the last 15 years or so, I think we would have a very, very different flavor of annoying, cringy neo-paganism. Instead of a tall, blonde aesthetic, we'd have a short, swarthy, hairy-chested aesthetic. Anyway. Okay, Imsim says, Leif Erikson's sister was raped by a Christian for refusing to convert, and he branded her with a cross on her back. And in my head, I'm just thinking, why? Who wrote that? Like, why? Yeah, no, why? Why? That makes, like, absolutely no sense. In any historical context, like, at all. Like, okay. Great, they hate us. I'm glad we know that now. As if we didn't know already. I will say as well, on a related note, I encountered it's a channel that I actually largely enjoy. Recently encountered it. It's Ronnie something, talking about human nature. She does like sociology, psychology, some philosophy, some history, that kind of thing, and talks about current events through the perspective of analyzing things through human nature. Mostly good. But at one point, when she was like kind of tracing the history of Western civilization, she sort of jumps over the Dark Ages. And I was like, oh, come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Talk to Tom Woods. He will explain how the Catholic Church built Western civilization. It's a great book, a great EWTN series. Anyway, also, yeah, the Kingdom of Heaven, yeah, that does the same kind of thing. Portraying the capture of Jerusalem as justifiable Muslim revenge for the massacre of the Crusaders a century ago, when they took the city. Yeah, no, that didn't happen like that, like at all. The Crusaders were primarily defending pilgrims. Why did they have to do that in the first place? There's a good question for you, isn't it? Anyway, Yetta, oh, you're safe. I drink husband soup. Feel much better, so I come find you. You found key, good. Bedroom right above us. I take you there. No, because I have to go back to husband for more soup. I want more soup. Anyway. Oh, were you talking? No, we were talking about ridiculous portrayals of Christian history in film and television, and why they're often so bad. Oh, Imsimp says, one thing I always disagreed with personally was the establishment of the Crusader states. I think all that land should be given back to the Byzantines, a sign of good faith. I can see an argument for that. I could see an argument for that, but at the same time, this was also just after, like very shortly after the Great Schism, the establishment of the Crusader states. So you can't just give over papal territory to schismatic Eastern patriarchs, right? That's kind of. You think it could have mended the schism? I don't know. I really don't know. I think there was a little bit too much bad blood for that to happen at the time. I don't know if it would have helped enough. Maybe it would have been a step in the right direction. Maybe it might have helped, but I'm skeptical. Returned on the condition they submitted to Rome. Maybe. That might have worked. I'm still a little skeptical as to whether that would have actually solved the problem, but maybe. And you're right, it was more political than theological, mostly. Yes, I will unlock the bedroom after I get more soup. Be right back. Please, stand by. Yeah. Just stand here in the cold for a minute, okay? Thanks. I need soup, real quick. Wolves! Oh, yeah, I mean, Eastern Caesaropapism was its own kind of issue there. Which, I mean, I think was a large contributing factor, you know. I needed that. John says, I missed this game. I just need to get a new cable for my controller. Learn to emulate like a real man, since Nintendo's being gay about it. Yeah, yeah, I tend to agree with that. Like I said, let me know in Discord. I'll see if I can help you out. I will say, Wii U games are generally a little bit difficult to emulate. The emulator I'm using is Cemu, C-E-M-U. You can get the GameCube or the Wii version of this game to work perfectly fine on Dolphin, which is a very stable, very good emulator. It does great. Yet to have any problems with Dolphin for almost any games that I put onto it. But like I said, I would recommend the Wii U version, obviously. But check out Cemu, C-E-M-U is what I'm doing this on. You need to install the dev kit version of it to get it to run the game, and yes, I have key. Thank you. So first of all, you need the dev kit version of Cemu to run the game, which you can get just from the Cemu site. It's fine. It's quite simple. And then also, I think you need to run it as administrator. I forget if it's the first time you load the game or just every time. I just have it set to do it every time, so I'm the only one who uses this computer, so whatever. But yeah, I have it set to just run as administrator all the time, which is usually fine. See, yeah, no, I mean, it is understandable not wanting to learn all this crap, because it is kind of, it's convoluted. It's annoying. Yes, it's annoying. But But like I said, I do think that it's I think it's generally worth it, if only because I can stream this. You know, I even if this did come out on the Switch, and I got it for the Switch, it would be really really difficult for me to stream the thing, because I would be, you know, first of all, not looking up at you guys. I'd be looking down here at my Switch screen. Beep, 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 beep. Um, and then also, it would be like I'd have to figure out a way to link the Switch to my computer, which is already kind of annoying. I don't know. It'd be irritating. Who wants to deal with that? It's great for streaming anyway. Emulation is fantastic for streaming. Just put it that way. Assuming your computer can handle it, which I will say, some emulators really have high hardware requirements, like way higher than the actual hardware that they originally ran on, just because they're not optimized. Emsim says, imagine if the East and the West reunited and Ethiopian and Makurian Sudanese Orthodox churches united. Christians could have attacked Egypt from Jerusalem and Makuria from the south. Yeah, that is true. I mean, the history of the Middle East would be radically different. Absolutely. Oh no, I listen. I have 2 Switch games right now. For the moment, I'll probably wind up getting more, but I have 2. I have Mario Kart 8, which I get the kids for Christmas, and I have the Paw Patrol game, one of the Paw Patrol games, something Adventure City, which their grandparents got them for Christmas. That's what I have for Switch right now. So I'm not exactly set up to be streaming all that much on from the actual Switch. So there's that. No, I have the regular one. I have the proper full docked in thing, because it is primarily for the kids to play and them to play together and together with us. So to be able to put it on the TV is kind of important. Anyway, while I'm doing this boss fight, John, explain to me vaguely the whole Switch. I know it's not technically called the Virtual Console, but the thing that you have the various game things for, which have the old games from retro consoles. Explain to me how that works and what exactly I would need to pay for that. Like, is it just the Switch Online thing? Can I buy them individually, or give me a brief explanation of this so I understand how it works. Yeah, capture cards I know is kind of, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm probably gonna get them Zelda games. They're a little bit small at the moment. The kids are. My oldest is 6. The first Zelda game I played was Ocarina, and I was 8, I think, something like that. I didn't play it right when it came out. I played it right a little bit after, a year or so after it came out. I think I was 8. The remake, the Switch remake of Link's Awakening. Is it Link's Awakening or Link to the Past? It was Link to the Past, I think. I might get that for them. I might get that for them. What, you don't play old retro games on your Switch? I totally thought you did. Because I know there's one for GameCube, there's one for N64, there's one for SNES, there's one for NES, there's one for Game Boy Advance. It's Link's Awakening. Okay, thanks, Zip Zip. Okay, so it's a subscription service. There's different tiers for it. Okay. I gotta look into what the tiers are and how exactly it works. You didn't like Ocarina of Time? My man, what is your deal, dude? That's insane. Okay, so it's just played online. All right, I mean that's honestly fine. For a lot of those old retro games, that's not an issue. You can basically just finish the damn things. Man, to not like Ocarina of Time, you have to be some kind of brainless zoomer. Or, like you said, got hit in the head way too hard at some point. I couldn't figure out where to go. There's no waypoints on the minimap, man. Yeah, okay. You come inside. Okay. Oh, was the clunky controls? I guess I understand that. I will say one of the things that has improved most. Here, mirror, look at it. Just wait, I'll come back to this. So pretty. Pretty, so pretty. Pretty, pretty mirror, lovely. Why does her face rotate? I hate this! For classic dungeon crawling Zelda over vast open worlds with only 4 dungeons, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Probably negatively. I haven't played them yet. Blizzetta! Go away! Yeah! Oh, I've made a mistake. Uh-oh. Ah. Is that a cat? Oh, jeez. Shoot. There we go. Wiggly. You died to this boss the first time, not gonna lie, as a kid. I mean, it's a tough one. Now it's the reflections on the ice floor thing. Oh my gosh. It's got like a tomb thingy. Oh, jeez. Damn it. Parts are good. Am I a fan of Conan the Barbarian? Yeah, moderately. He's not my favorite Robert E. Howard character. That absolutely goes to Solomon Kane. But good. Love Solomon Kane. Conan's pretty cool. I haven't read as many of the short stories and even the sort of comics as Solomon Kane. Oh, come on. Smash. Yes, Solomon Kane is a heretic. He's a what's it called, pilgrim, Puritan, whatever. Some kind of Protestant, yeah. But he's still a very cool, pious man, so he's still really cool. He is a well-written Christian character, for once. Speaking of, previous discussions. Oh, bastards. I missed it. Damn it. Okay. Oh, you read somewhere that Howard was Catholic. I had no idea. I mean, that I could see that. Though I will say, if he was Catholic, he was definitely the more, like, I don't know, culturally Catholic type, rather than particularly, theologically serious. But yeah, no, he this was of a time when you could still write good stories about a Christian character who would be, genuinely Christian and not just, there we go. You had the stream on your television and chat open on the phone. Wow, alright. Commitment. Defeated and hopefully saved poor Yetta. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. So, Imsim says, I've heard so much debate about whether Howard was a sexist or a feminist. Probably racist, but as a 1930s Texas, everyone was. I mean... How do I put this? I think that he was... He was still well enough steeped in tradition. In traditional culture, traditional values, traditional ethics, presumably traditional religion. That I don't think he fits into that nice little binary between, sexist or feminist. Excuse me. If you think that the classical tradition is sexist fundamentally, I think that you will think that Robert Howard is sexist. Does he admire femininity and the unique genius of women? I think absolutely. You can get that from more so from Conan than from Solomon Kane. Because Solomon Kane doesn't have a lot of prominent feminine characters. But feminine, I mean like female characters who are prominent enough to display archetypal characteristics. Put it that way. There are a few female characters who are just sort of, the innkeeper or the wife of the man Solomon Kane is meeting, or that kind of thing. But there are very few who are really prominent. Whereas in Conan, there are prominent, important feminine characters. One of your favorites alongside Tolkien, Crichton. I greatly prefer Tolkien's style to Howard's. Robert E. Howard does very good fiction, let's put it that way, but not great mythology. He's way too, grounded in the he's too gritty, I guess, for the mythological. Which is probably why I like Solomon Kane better than I like Conan, because Conan represents a kind of mythological age, the sort of Atlantean epic. So, yeah, I like I said, I like Howard. Like I said, I think he does a great job, especially with Solomon Kane of really making a serious Christian character. Now, I'll say as well, check out the comics if you haven't. I think Dark Horse did most of them. They did comics of, I think, all or most of Howard's short stories, and the dialogue and the descriptions are basically just straight out of the short stories. And they're really, really, really well done. They're a very stark black and white with flashes of color type style. Mostly, there's a couple of full color ones, but they're mostly black and white with just flashes of color for important parts. Blood often, but not necessarily. It's really good. They were really great comic adaptations. I have an omnibus PDF that I got at some point. If you can find the omnibus, I think there's 2 omnibus collections. They're definitely worth picking up if you can find them. I wish I had them in like, book form. Well, we have 2 mirror shards now. 2 more left, Link. 2 more left. I was thinking there were 3 shards. Still, I feel bad about the way we treated that girl. To think the Mirror of Twilight has the power to change people like that. This world, all worlds can be cruel. Let's hurry up and collect the rest of those pieces, Link. We have to, before more innocent creatures have to endure the suffering this poor girl did. Well, let's go search for the 2 that remain. Nap time? What? What's wrong with me? Very strange. You just dreaming, Yeto, mirror you gave. Forget mirror, Yetta. No, look into eyes of Yeto. He does have striking eyes, doesn't he? Look in reflection of Yeto's eyes, their true beauty. Aww. Who need mirror? My love, Aw, diegetic hearts. Yay. Just in time for Valentine's Day. No, it's not. Valentine's Day is in like a month and a week. Love you. Oh, I love you too. Oh, more heart. So cute. How do we celebrate St. Valentine's Day? I mean, aside from that, yeah, not really. I mean, probably. I mean, last year we did a little bit of talking about Saint Valentine with kids, mostly with Saoirse because she's old enough. This year probably we'll do something similar too. Might do some like little arts and crafts stuff, and history of marriage stuff. We'll make it into a homeschool lesson basically. Man, John, you got. Yeah. Now, I did threaten to end your line last week, so I might have to make sure that stays the case. It was justified, honestly. Alright, let's get out of here. I mean, honestly, most of the holidays that we really celebrate are liturgical in nature anyway, so we celebrate them liturgically. Oh, we're going to the fair! Yeah, we can do that. We can finally go to the fair. Oh, I threatened the next person who dismissively refers to economic growth and prosperity as line go up, that I would end your line, and then you immediately did it because you love to torture me. Hey, we have 2 rows of hearts. Nice. Yes, we've missed the fair a lot, so maybe we can do that. The 6th through the 17th. I know you weren't serious, but still. Still. And to be fair, I also did say the next person who unironically blah 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 blah. So maybe maybe you don't deserve to be single on Valentine's Day. How about that? That's the closest I can get to an apology. Don't start with me. All right, let's go somewhere. Snoopy Top? No. I'm trying to think if there's anywhere that we need the ball and chain for. Oh, I know that I need to go back to Kakariko. Because the wolf is here. And we can learn another cool sword maneuver. Oh, he's in the graveyard. Oh yeah, freaking Walmart's plastered in Valentine's Day stuff. Well, yeah, Christmas is over. I might put like a heart on the Discord server banner image for the day of Valentine's Day, but otherwise it's going to be a break from Mardi Gras because Mardi Gras it's during Mardi Gras. Stores around us have had Valentine's Day stuff since, like, honestly, since before Christmas. They were starting to put it out. We meet again. There are but a few hidden skills left for me to teach you. I have warned you of this before, but if you fail to execute the hidden skill I am about to teach you, your life may be forfeit. You still wish to master this skill? Yes. John's never been to New Orleans. We drove by New Orleans on our way to and from Texas a couple months ago. But I, too, have never been to New Orleans. I'd love to. I would love to. It's rather chaotic for, like, big, like, family vacation kind of thing. I don't know. Might be fun. Might still be fun at some point. You have no desire to go to New Orleans, but it's cool. I love jazz. Before we begin, I must test you've mastered the mortal draw. Yes. No, wait. Get him. I love jazz. Excellent. Appears you are certainly capable of performing my lost art. Yes, I did. I played primarily saxophone, a little bit of flute in jazz bands in college. I did also play a bunch of... Well, no, it was jazz. There was blues. There was blues, too. For a lot of the trip. The jump strike. What? This is different from the sword plant finisher? John loves jazz. Good. You should. It's good. It's good music. The basic sword techniques is the jump attack. Inflicts great damage, blah, blah, blah. From the jump strike, prepare the jump attack, but focus power in your blade. Surge of the blade releases can strike all enemies around you. Interesting. Oh. Cool. I'd completely forgotten about this one. Impressive. Do not forget the timing for releasing the power you just felt. The 6th hidden skill, the jump strike, has been passed on. I love that they don't even try to, like, have the sword not phase through your shield and scabbard. They don't even try. There's been one hidden skill left for me to pass on to you. You're already endowed with the strength required of the hero. Do you not already feel the courage granted by this strength as it guides you step by step toward your true enemy? Believe in your strength. Continue to push forward unflinchingly and without straying from your path. Maybe we meet again. Here, here. Cool! Now what? Wait. Yeah, bug. I already caught it. I do need to give some bugs to Agatha. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. Now your lights are on half power after flickering for a while. Woo, that's fun. Yeah, you're haunted, probably. Oh, speaking of, John, when are you gonna pick up your spooping thing again? When are you gonna start spooping again? Link, did you know that Zora Boy is actually the prince of the Zora tribe? Yeah! Oh, if I'd gotten to know him better, maybe I could have gone and met the royal family and been a princess or something. All right. I let a really big fish get away. Next week, awesome. Yeah, the hidden skills are very cool. Ooh, and it does a little nice. Yeah, most of the other games don't have the level of swordplay. I will say though, Skyward Sword kind of does. It's very different. 2,000. No, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna yet. I'm gonna get some more first. Yeah, Skyward Sword has some good swordplay, just because of the Wii Motion Plus, really. I'm gonna switch to Thursdays because Fridays was getting hard to be consistent. Spend time with friends. Yeah, I getcha. That makes sense. Amsim says Breath of the Wild was the first 3D Zelda game I played in a while, and I immediately tried doing the hidden skills. I was like, what the hell? I still have the muscle memory. Yeah. I mean, they're all evolutions. Oh, jeez. They're all evolutions from existing sword moves from previous Zelda games. The spin attack has always been there. The sword plant has always been there. The two of them, both the shield bash and the sidestep thingy, are both just reworkings of the counter attacks from Wind Waker. Ooh, that's a good point. Wait, no, it doesn't. My D&D game does not happen Fridays. What are you talking about? Your D&D game happens Fridays. Then again, if you want to join Erica's game, I'm not going to stop you. Greetings, Mr. Link. I have a letter. Here you go. 2 letters. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, no, my D&D game is Sundays. Agatha's dream! Agatha had a dream last night. Butterflies surrounded Agatha and lifted her up to the sky. As she waved at the people below in Castletown, she could see so many people, some waving back, others staring wide-eyed. Agatha flew in a big circle above Hyrule Field, and the butterfly formed into a bed beneath her and said, "Let's play again." Soon they faded away, and she woke up in her own bed. Oh, Agatha wants to fly so badly, to fly in the sky. We should do that. Wife of Yeto, I feel bad. You paid me visit and not much help. Feel better now. Husband and I... Oh, this is wife of Yeto. Husband and I sleds lots now. Very much fun. Link, you join us at Snow Peak sometime. Hey, look, it's a side quest minigame. It hurts from the intense. Oh, that's why you closed the door. That makes sense. It's only 1 charcoal's worth. It's not like that much. I do stinky. I make stinky. I make good, happy stinky. Why did I get to sound like Trump? Because the only way I can make a remotely feminine voice is to make it nasally. So, there you go. That's why. Can I get through there? Let's see. Let's go try. What do you mean I aren't 5? Why aren't I 5? Got him. I do not. I feel like doing a thing. The bridge is fixed, but my body feels terrible. I just cannot go look for stuff to sell. You know, all I need is to shower myself with some piping hot spring water to get back to feeling normal. Okay. I'll do that eventually. No, I make nice stinky. I make incense. Really? There we go. Oh, okay. So Imp-Simp's got heavy winds messing with the power line. So it's not ghosts. It's just inclement weather. Got it. Okay. That's not too bad then. It happens. Let's go into the doctor's office. See what's in here. I haven't talked to him yet.
Eh? What's that? Yes, I wondered who it might be. I see it's the admirable young lad who is willing to help shore up a wife for nary a single rupee. Just what it is you want, lad. A fiscal? Some money, don't you? By the way, that girl Ilya didn't mention anything about me, did she?
No. Should she have? That huge fire north of Los Angeles, the governor and Biden are here. Lights just turned off and back on. Jeez. I didn't know that Biden left his bed, let alone DC. Can I?
I'll be honest, lad. It'll cost you a fair bit for an examination.
His eyeglasses! Wow!
Not that I'm having trouble making money, not at all. Why, I'm so skilled, they call my hands the golden bits. Don't have any errand here, and be gone, you scoundrel. Should really not say anything at all about me.
That's weird. He just wants to be appreciated, I guess. Final days of the Biden administration. Hi, meows.
How do you want it?
Going in. John says, I remember once I lived with a Norse pagan. Oh, that must have been fun. I was getting ready for work, and I went back to my room, and it was darker than it should have been at the foot of the bed. Felt a sharp pang of fear, then shrugged my shoulders and said to myself, I don't have time for this. Turned my lights on and got ready for work.
Piss off, demons!
I have not played Conan Exiles. Looks really cool, though. Honestly, mostly because of the building mechanics. Like, the building mechanics of Conan Exiles are just, like, look great.
No, someone will see you!
So... Ah, look, he's animated. You did it. I can move again. This is all thanks to you, right? Oh, I have to thank you. With this too. Ooh. Read Fairy's tears in a bottle. Demon defeated by Beer Hurry. Yeah. Yeah. I ain't got time for this. Get out of here. Contains the Great Fairy's prayers. You're generally not afraid of demons? Yeah, maybe you should be. At least a little bit. Maybe a little bit. I mean, yeah, they're a bunch of losers, but that doesn't mean they'll lose to you. Like, I mean... Let me put it this way. At this point, because, you know, he's ancient, Mike Tyson is technically a loser. You know, to Jake Paul. That whole dumbass fight. I wouldn't want to get in the ring with him. Saying. Boost attack strength for a while. Nice. I hear you can get this stuff in the cave on the western edge of the Gerudo Desert, too. But my body's still golden. Does this mean my soul is still not whole? That's strange. Maybe you need the souls of 60 ghosts. Can I ask a favor of you? Can you defeat more ghosts? Just 40 ghosts more. It may be tough finding these creepy crawlies, right? Take this lantern with you. What'd it do? Ghost lantern. Wait, so is it just, like, replace my regular lantern? I mean, it works as light. Hey, cat. Say, you're the one who fixed my master up, right? I owe you. My name's Gangle. I'm the leader of the cats outside. Well, well, now that I can move, maybe I should go outside and breathe some fresh air. Okay, Gangle. That is the most ridiculous name ever, and I love it. You're not super alarmed by the thought of them, that's what you mean. You just ignore their bullshit. Try to recite holy scriptures. Alright, yeah. I hear voices coming from Giovanni's room, but I wonder if there's something keeping him in there. Yes, there is. Looks like there's no bar on this street. Maybe I'll look somewhere else. Hi, cats. I'm gonna carry you. Come here. You're mine now. Mine. Yoink. Nope. Just kidding. No, I put you down. Read the sign. No, not fortune telling. Okay. You'd say your fantasy world you've talked about before is a mix of Conan, Lord of the Rings, ancient history with a dab of religion. Okay, yeah, I can see the Conan influence. Have you brought a bug for Princess Agatha's ball? Yes. Now, I will say, if I am ever going to do this side quest in its totality, which I'm probably not, honestly, then I'm probably going to use the guide, because I have it. So I might as well. Oh boy, who's your friend? You're a little dragonfly, aren't you, you little cutie? Little dragonfly, when you look at me with those great big eyes, Oh boy, thank you so much. I'm so happy. Allow me to share this happiness with you. Money! 21 bugs left. Yes, I will give you the partner of the dragonfly. You never bothered with it? I think this is how you get... what is it? Forget what you get from this. 100 rupees. Okay, nice. Is it the magic armor, or is it the biggest wallet? I think it's the biggest wallet. Yeah, I have bugs. I'll give them to you later. My wallet's getting full. That was... She's, very insistent, Agatha. Let's go back to the bar. I can also, by the way, Imsimp, I can also, thinking back to your fantasy world, I can also see the Robert Howard influence. But I can also see the Michael Crichton influence with the, particularly with the political stuff. You know, with Nazis and all that. Yeah, biggest wallet, okay. Because he got the magic armor back in the day. Oh, was it the pose? That might be transforming him back with getting all the pose. That might be it. Is that Iliad? How's that Iliad doing, honey? I'm sure that shaman will find a way to get our memory back. That Renato is a talented man, for sure. Anyway, honey, you've got your own things to worry about, so you just make sure you know you do what needs doing right now, okay? Hey, honey, if you're up in the air about where to go next, maybe you ought to talk to Russell. Put those away, this is a kid's game. She even flirts with Link, like, repeatedly. He's in Hyrule's southern wood right now, checking out the lay of the land. Need detailed directions? Just take a peek at the map on the table. I've decided that Castletown uses a transcontinental accent because I like transcontinental accents. Not transcontinental, transatlantic. Excuse me. I especially like them for big cities. But yeah, so it's the reason for that kind of goes back to I made in my D&D games, at least my Forgotten Realms D&D games, I made the transatlantic accent the accent for Waterdeep, the city of Waterdeep, because it is so transatlantic. If you don't know, was the radio announcer voice, probably most well known for it, and it is a completely made up artificial accent, which is fascinating to me, because it's really the only accent like that has ever really caught on. It's made up because it was made as a kind of splitting the difference between American English and British English, so that American and British actors could act together without it being obvious where they were from. It's fake, but it's not gay. It's really cool. No, don't hate on this. It's really cool. But anyway, it was designed in the early days of film as a way to sort of smooth over linguistic differences, between the basically actors from the two sides of the Atlantic, right? And so it became a kind of accent that was that people started picking up and imitating, especially in cities, right? Coastal East Coast cities especially, but even in the UK to some degree. And so because it's so artificial and cosmopolitan, I like this as the accent for Waterdeep, because Waterdeep in Forgotten Realms is essentially it is the most cosmopolitan, mixed culturally coastal city. It's essentially a split the difference between Renaissance Venice, 1920s New York City, and with elements of modernity sprinkled in, because modern D&D writers can't do history. But that part aside, it's very much that sort of cosmopolitan union of a bunch of different cultures and peoples and all kinds of things. It's also gigantic. It has a population of what is it, 2 or 3 million or something? Which is absurd for a medieval city of that size, because it's not a medieval city. It is essentially like a modern city, because it's very high magic and all that. So anyway, it's very cool. Anyway, so I made the transcontinental, or transatlantic. God, I keep saying transcontinental. Transatlantic accent. I decided in my games that was the Waterdavian accent. Yes, no. They didn't almost get rid of race mixing. They got rid of race mixing. The D&D Wizards of the Coast got rid of race mixing in the new edition of D&D. The 1 D&D or 5.5 or whatever. Can I say this in the voice of the King of the Red Lions? Can I say what? Maybe. I gotta remember exactly what voice I used, but I think so. Yeah, so basically they got rid of the half races. So half elf, half orc, that sort of thing. Because, I don't know, it implies that... it implies some kind of race essentialism or something. I don't know. You can't be a half elf or a half orc anymore. So if you are going to be a character with, you can still technically, like per the rules is written in the new edition, you can still have one, say, elf parent and one human parent. You just pick one. So there is no half racial trait. You're just going to be an elf with a human parent or a human with an elf parent, which is 1, boring, 2, that is how it works in some fantasy series. So it's not unique, right? This isn't just new. That's how Dragon Age has always done it, by the way, for example. Like an elf and a human will produce human offspring. That's just how it works. But stuff like that. Like but it is dumb. And to say that it's for, racial sensitivity or something is absolutely stupid. Wizards hurt itself in its confusion. Yeah, they I can hate what they've done with the new edition. There's a couple of things that are mechanically kind of cool. Kind of? But even that, it like, for example, weapon masteries. They're a thing that you can do either a certain number of times per day or a certain number of times before rest or whatever, or just at will, depending on your class and depending on which weapons you choose to specialize in. Right, so there are different weapons that let you do different things. Like you can reduce enemies' movement speed if you hit them with the right weapon, right? Or all kinds of different stuff. It's neat. It's a cool little thing. Here's the problem. Baldur's Gate 3 did it first and did it better. Like the weapon characteristics, the bonus action attacks. If you play Baldur's Gate 3, you'll be relatively familiar with this. But the bonus action attacks, the little special flavory stuff that the weapons get in Baldur's Gate 3, especially martial weapons, is basically just like 5.5 or 1 D&D weapon masteries, just better. It's just strictly better. I don't know. Let me see if I can remember the King of the Red Lions voice. During the unholy crusade of Kaliman, the armies of Zamora and Valencia stood against the undead forces of the Necromancer King. How's that? Pretty good? Care to hear about the Sky Beings again? Now you already told me. Thanks, though. Are you quite sure? I don't mind, really. Did you see the sad state of Hyrule Castle? It's an urgent desire of this group of ours to restore the peace to this kingdom as swiftly as possible. Link, please continue to lend us your strength. I will. And then I'm going to go and see Russell. Link, huh? The beast of Snow Peak hasn't appeared in Zora's domain since its last visit. That is tautological. The beast hasn't appeared since its last visit. Anyway, whatever. You can clip it. Go ahead, clip it. Whatever. Go, have fun. Clip it for me. Or clip it for Imsimp. Either way. Clip that. Timestamp 134-ish. Write that down. In the end, the troubles in Snow Peak and the events on Snow Peak... Wait, the troubles in Hyrule and the events in Snow Peak were beyond even my imagination. Honestly, there's got to be someone who knows what really happened. I do, but you're not going to ask me, because I don't talk. Alright. Check our map. That's not map. That's a map. Yeah, let's go south. What's this? Alright, let's go out the south gate and head down to the woods, back towards home. Although, wait. Wait. I said there was a couple of minigame type things I wanted to do. 10:40. We're not going to start the next dungeon tonight. I frankly don't want to spend that much time doing snowboarding, though. It was not exactly one of my favorite minigames in this game. The controls are not optimized, basically. How do I get up there? Oh, that's how. I get it. Yes, did the Gerudo Desert a couple of weeks ago? Before Christmas. Hey, what's going on here? Really? We're gonna... I have to hit the very top edge of the thing. I see. Nice. We did it. Favorite dungeon? All of the Zelda games I've played. All three of them. Well, I mean... Yeah, no, it's really good. Prized Zelda. Remember when this collectible collecting, like the stamp collecting stuff, was like... When Nintendo thought that this was going to take off into, like, developing a Wii-related social media? I will say, though, honestly, if Nintendo made a social media... Oh, I can't go through here, can I? Shoot. If Nintendo made its own social media, it would be far from the worst thing. I'd check it out. Listen, John, you can always just go and, like, rewatch old VODs. It was from... I think it was session... 8, maybe? Maybe 7. It was 8. What are those doing there? Now, whatever, let's warp. North turn woods, I guess. Ah, you have another stream with an epic voice saying the same phrase. It'll end up in the audiobook when the book comes out. Okay, cool. Hey, Russell. It's been a while since we took a walk in the forest, huh? Yes, and how our world's changed. Say, you know about the far side of this deep gorge? Some say there's an ancient temple deep in the woods that guards a sacred power. The ancestors of the Hylians created the temple. Signs of their civilization, ancient but very sophisticated, are everywhere. If someone could obtain the power of those ancient people, well, I'm sure it would go a long way towards saving Hyrule. Link? Would you take on this task? Would you cross the gorge and find the ancient power sleeping in the temple? I'll do it. Absolutely. It's my job. I am Link. I'm the hero of... what is he the hero of? Is he the hero of Twilight? Is it that easy? That simple? I knew you would. Cross the gorge, just use my partner here. That's a chicken. You doubt my partner's skills? He flies like a dream, believe me. Hero of Twilight. Okay, that's what I thought, but that seems a little uncreative for it, but whatever. Well, you'll definitely make it across the gorge. Wait and see, my doubting friend. Restore the peace, blah, 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 blah. Okay. This is... Okay, whatever. Go! I'll definitely make it, huh? No, this isn't working, you know. Russell, can we just, like... we talk this through? I gave it a shot. Your ridiculous partner fell into the abyss. The canopy outside that we have an SUV parked under. The legs are bouncing like the wind's trying to fly off. Jeez. Let's try this again, I guess. Okay, so maybe if I go there. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna run out of hearts at this rate. No. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way. Guidebook time. Oh wait, well there is diversions here at this point in the game. Oh no, that's in collection section. That's in the end. Okay. Alright, before I get to Sacred Grove... or desert. No, this is more... also Twilight, no. Here we go. Baron Province. Alright. Travel by Poultry. Walk to the North Fernwoods, blah, 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 blah. Hold a golden cuckoo, which is ridiculous, but fine. Silly. Pick up the cuckoo and use it to guide straight across the gap to a ledge. Okay, I see that gap. Turn and glide to a route that juts out from the cliff. From the cliff. Okay. Then... turn again, and glide to another ledge, walk for a short distance, manipulate a bridge, And glide some more. Okay, fine. I will try it this way. I'll try it your way, guide. This. That route. Maybe this. Really? See, I've done this as a wolf, haven't I? This little looks very familiar. I think I've done this as a wolf.
What you need.
Can I talk to the chicken? Twinkle, twinkle, little cuckoo, I am gold and not for you, ooh. Wow.
Plus, what will it?
Well, okay, you are annoying, little chicken. Oh, okay, bye, chicken. Lost ya. I dare. Here we go again. I'm gonna go ahead and transform back. There we go. Needed the heart, thank you. Anyway, so I'll mention as well, one of the things I was talking about on Discord was a very funny Twitter interaction I had with another Catholic parent. I forget who. The religious hippie. It might have been the religious hippie. I forget. But somebody asked, tweeted something about like, why is it that babies will drink copious amounts of bathwater the moment you put them in, as if they are never going to have access to liquid again. And I just replied, original sin. Which is true. That's correct. But yeah, they got him. Was it religious hippie? Okay. You don't think she's a mom? I thought she was. Maybe not. You could be right. Anyway, so I replied original sin, and then somebody being an ordinary Catholic smartass responds something like, yes, Augustine talks about this. And that's actually correct. So, to clarify, Augustine does not talk about babies drinking bathwater. What he does say is that, and this is near the beginning of the Confessions. I forget if it's book 1 or 1, 2, or 3, but it's in one of the first couple of books of the Confessions. He points out that the doctrine of original sin is basically the most undeniable of Catholic doctrines. Because anyone who has been around a child for literally any length of time has basically undeniable proof of the doctrine of original sin. Yep. Ow, little bastard. How do I get up there? There's a Poe up there I need to get to. You guys piss off. That'll do it. Haha, you can't get me. Oh, it wasn't religious hippie. Okay, okay. Yeah, I forget who it was. Anyway, whoever it was. Wait, no, stop. Are you kidding me? There we go. Anyway, whoever it was, I don't know if it was a religious hippie, but it was somebody. Augustine actually does talk about this. He basically points out that both of sort of distant and described to him memories of his own childhood, as well as his experience with other children, tells him without any possibility of any doubt that the doctrine of original sin is true. That we are in fact born with the stain of concupiscence. That we have desires to do things that are silly, irrational, that we should not do, that we have no good reason to do, etc. So yeah, that it is once again a it's this way. This chest. Nice. But yeah, it is. It's not exactly that it's. How do I put it? It's not that it's. It's not that it's. Augustine talking specifically about babies doing that kind of thing in particular. It's more like Augustine talking about babies being, concupiscent little bastards. There you go. No, this is absolutely not part of the main dungeon. We've now done this twice, because you have to do this on the way to get the Master Sword. You have to do it as a wolf first. You basically chase down the bastard and then biting him. Then this time, I had forgotten you do this twice. There we go. Taken care of. Oh, babies, yes, are adorable concupiscent little bastards. But yes, absolutely. Concupiscent nonetheless. That's the point that Augustine was making. We have inordinate desires for no particularly good reason. We desire to do things that are sinful, self-destructive, irrational, etc. Wait. He's up here, isn't he? He's not up here. He was there last time. No. Leave me alone. Puppets. Where is he? There he is. You gotta look for the lights. That's it. There we go. Wow, I love the lethal draw. Incredible. What? There he is. He's up here. Okay. He just disappear? Punk ass bitch. Let me throw. He hit me. There he is. There. Okay, good. Oh, your friend's roommate has got a foster baby. Oh, that's good. That's good. Wonderful. Okay. Have I mentioned that I like the length of Link's bow in this game? That most instances of the bow in Legend of Zelda games are unreasonably short. Not impossibly short, but unreasonably short. Like, you can have a full power short bow if it's essentially composite. If it's of composite materials and that sort of thing. But having a bow of reasonable length like this is really cool. I really like it. It's not like longbow length. What are you stomping about? I'm going to shoot you with my bow. Got him. Punk. Every version of the Skull Kid is annoying. Where'd he go? There you are. Get him. Wow. There we go. Goofy woodland spirits, yeah. Or is it or is it ah? AH I think of as but that doesn't work with the sound it's supposed to make. That was fun. I'll tell you what. I'll let you into a secret place. For shooting you repeatedly. Okay, cool. That's how to make friends. Sacred Grove. Works if you're British. Hey, no, you're not allowed to shoot people in Britain. You have to stab them. That's how to make friends. This next section of the guide is called Remastered Sword. Which is especially funny because this version of the game is a remaster. Oh, and therefore it is mirrored to my guidebook, because this is the guide for the Wii version. I will say, though, speaking of the British, the whole Rotherham grooming gangs story, the developments that have recently come out about that are absolutely, utterly horrifying. One of the things a few of the things I've seen just don't read like truth. They read like fiction, but they're like multiple independently verified kind of incidents, where like the same 12-year-old girl was assaulted by like several different groups of Pakistani men in the same day. Like, man, it's beyond belief. John says I would go to jail in the UK if I said what should be done about it. Yes. Let me just be blatant and upfront about it. Everyone involved should be executed. I don't think that these people can be sufficiently contained. I do think that this is a justifiable use of capital punishment, probably. If not, maybe not. Maybe they need to be locked up for life. But if we can lock them up for life, reasonably, maybe we can do that. Maybe that's fine. But they need to be kept out of society indefinitely. All other immigrants from at least Pakistan, probably some of the other regions in the Middle East where this is common, need to be expelled from the country immediately. Realistically, expelled from Europe immediately. And then all of the public officials who have abetted this need to also be severely punished. They need to have absolutely no political authority for the rest of their lives of any sort. Yeah, spreading Mohammedanism to other inmates in prison is basically an intractable problem, unless they're life in solitary confinement or life only among their own people or whatever, which you can't do that really in a modern Western society, unfortunately. So that means that execution might have to be justified here. Then beyond that, though, the people who the politicians, the functionaries, bureaucrats, police, etc., who facilitated all of this, probably, quite frankly, should probably be executed as well. If it can be shown that they had direct involvement in failing to respond appropriately, etc. If not executed, certainly be completely blacklisted from any, call it public service, any kind of government-related profession, ever. For life, absolutely. And quite frankly, that would basically eliminate most of the police, bureaucrats, and politicians in the UK, so we'd have to kind of start over there, which is fine. Maybe we should. No, maybe we should. Yeah, it's utterly ridiculous. Imsim says, what do you think of immigrants who come from Catholic countries like Mexico? Depends. It depends on the immigrant, really. I know that's a stupid cop-out answer, but it's true. Because there are plenty of like Mexican Catholics who are devout and faithful people, right? Like myself, who I share a lot more in common with than your average secularist Californian. Like I would rather interact with a faithful Catholic Mexican who came here, interact with in a perfectly equal way, than a California transplant in Florida. Like most Californian transplants in Florida are ruining our society. Most of the Mexicans who are here are great guys and women. They're great people. Like around here. Now that's a little different from border states like Arizona, like and California for that matter, like John, where you're from, where you get mass migration type things. All the way over here in Florida, we don't get that to nearly the same degree because you have to get here by plane or by sea or by an absurdly long land route. So we don't have to deal with the same level of border crisis. And so we get people who are here to be here, right? Rather than here essentially to get away from trouble or to cause trouble. And so, you know, there might be different solutions in different places. Whoa, 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 whoa. Erica says the Mexicans here are Cubans. Don't tell the Mexicans that, because there's Mexicans here too. But there's also a lot of Cubans, and a lot of the Cubans I know are also great. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, again, it really does come down to the individual, like everything else. Sorry to be weird and sorry to be fence-sitting libertarian, but there you go. John says home with less animosity. They're cool. Just be cool in your own home, not mine. Well, are they in your home or are they down the street? That's different. It's absolutely different. Like, don't start thinking that the house down the street is your home. It's not. That's somebody else's home, and if a good, cool, honest, you know, as Imsib says, practicing Catholic person, wants to live down the street from you, maybe that's a good thing. If if a gangbanger from South America who wants to, sell drugs and kill everyone he sees wants to live down the street from you, maybe that's not so great, right? There is nuance here that we can talk about. Sorry. I know the internet hates nuance, but you need nuance for this. And like I keep saying, I've said this over and over again, the only immigration system that can take that kind of nuance into account is a sponsorship system. Where if someone wants to immigrate, and whether live here or become a citizen, they need to have somebody who is willing to take responsibility for them being here, both financial and criminal responsibility. Like if you want an ideal solution, any immigrant who is going to come to the U.S. needs a person, organization, or individual or whatever who is going to sponsor them. That means that they're financially responsible for them. They receive no government assistance whatsoever. Any assistance they need has to come from that sponsor. And if they are ever convicted of any crime whatsoever, so is the sponsor. They're considered an accessory to any crime committed by the immigrant for a period of X years. Maybe that might depend on culture, might depend on country of origin, might depend on all sorts of things. There you go. Good immigration system. Done. In this way, like nonprofits can sponsor people to come in. The church can in fact sponsor immigrants, say Catholic immigrants, who are good cultural fits. Then you get like companies doing it, which has its own problems. That has the sort of H-1B visa problems, but they can do it. It has some issues involving like indentured servitude, but if you have it so that it's not tied to employment, then easy peasy. That gives the employer a very, very good reason to want to keep these employees and to incentivize them to stay employed. Because if not, then they're still responsible for them, even if they get another job somewhere else. So there you go. Boom. Tied to the individual, not the job, in other words, what I'm saying, as far as employment visas go. Imsim says, the crazy thing is a lot of my family came here illegally, but due to Reagan, were pardoned in the 80s and 90s, now full-blown Trump supporters. I voted for him too, but it was crazy when I did. I became something of a pariah when I did, and now I'm something of a pioneer. Who was the first to vote for him, and now everyone else is on board somehow. Well, yeah, I mean, everyone knows about the massive, massive increases in the sort of Latino vote that Trump got. John says Christians and single childless women could come in. Wouldn't you want the single childless woman, this completely hypothetical single childless woman, for obviously non-personal reasons? Like, it's not like you're doing this for selfish reasons or anything. No. Wouldn't you? But hypothetically, wouldn't you want this single childless woman to also be a Christian? Just a thought. Just a thought. Look, just all I'm saying is, talk to Supreme Court Justice Briber in the Discord server, and have him set you up with one of his in-laws. That's what I'm saying. Just do that. That'll work. We can just sort of, we can incestuize the Discord community. You can all be one big happy interrelated family. Oh gosh. Anyway, it's getting late. And I'm getting crazy. I'm getting weird. Imsim says it's crazy to me because it seems like Latinos are willing to potentially vote for their own, their relatives' deportation if it means better economy. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a difficult. Well, and not having to deal with first of all, not having to deal with the crap that they left behind now chasing them. Right, because the leftist immigration policies are opening the border for not just people who want to get away from problems to be here, but people who want to bring their problems with them, the gang members and things like that, right? Then also, also the other end of it is that it is a genuine. Put it this way. The reason for coming to the US is usually economic, right? If that's going to go away, then there's no reason for you or for them to be here anyway. So if it means deportation to maintain the reason for being here, it makes a kind of sense. Now maybe it's tragic, but it makes a kind of sense. John says, I don't think they like their daughter marrying a non-Catholic. I mean, you could do something about that. There are things you can do to fix that problem. Just saying. And that is an eminently fixable problem. Okay, so Imsim says, people are shouting, he's racist. Latinos are saying, so what? A good economy comes first. Whether he's racist or not is a whole can of worms. I don't think he is. It isn't politically advantageous to be racist in American politics today. But people are at a point where they wouldn't care one way or another. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's generally right. I think that the time of screaming racist, sexist, whatever is passing. I don't think it has the bite that it used to, even as little as 2 years ago. Well, if you like your good theology, John, all the more reason. Anyway, Midna says, sacred ancient forest. But this was what they were talking about. So this is what they were talking about. Oh, that's it? We were already here, right? We remember that, right? We were here not long ago. Big heavy rock. Smash it. I want to do something with that guy. Yeah. Racism just means do what I want. Yeah, that's actually correct. It is a political weapon. That's all. Alright, yeah, that snail. Okay. I'm looking for the pink snail, the girl snail. That snail's girlfriend. So Imsimp asks, is every Link a reincarnation of a previous Link, or simply the spirit or aura of the hero is with him? I tend to think of it in terms of the latter. That it is the sort of spirit of the hero, or the heroic spirit, or frankly, the Triforce of courage. Right? You can make this connection via the Triforce quite well. That Link is the hero of whatever era that it is. And that heroism is... How do I put this? That heroism is connected to and a kind of embodiment of the Triforce of Courage. That he embodies the unique virtue of courage qua the hero. The legendary hero of... I was about to say time, but that speaks about it. That's about it. That's a specific hero. So of all times, but I don't want to conflate it with the hero of time, but you get you know what I'm saying. Every Link is their own unique person rather than reincarnation. Yeah, I think so. I mean, not just because of my metaphysical commitments to thinking that reincarnation is incoherent, but then also, I mean, there is that. But aside from that, I do think that the different Links, while they do all have some shared character traits in common, they are sufficiently different from one another that I don't think that it's all, one. I don't think it's all the same person. Why are we putting it back? Ooh. Surprised nobody's made a cultic religion where they say trans people are reincarnated beings who reincarnated from a different gender than their previous life and feel a disconnect. Yeah, that sounds like something that these lunatics would come up with. Honestly, some of them probably believe that. I would frankly be surprised if none of them believe that. I'm sure. Like I said, I'd be shocked if none of these yahoos believe that. Alright, good night, John. I'll be done soonish. Like I said, I'm going to end it before we go into the actual temple. There's another one? Come here. Backer. Damn it. This is stupid. There we go. Why are these fights so much easier as a wolf? Transform back. There we go. Much better. Hey, now we can warp here. That's good. Anyway. Sim says, I knew crazy astrology people in college who held their readings as divine revelation. That's very silly. He once said astrology was dumb, and one girl flipped out saying it was her religion. Okay, yeah, that's really silly. It's exceptionally silly. Oh, that's a rock. It's her religion. God. Didn't say much after, but I wanted to say it's bullshit, not religion. I mean, okay. So I had a colleague, another philosophy grad student, who was a pretty solid Heidegger scholar. So her primary research interest was Martin Heidegger. Her secondary research interest was, how you say, weird? Because she studied astrology. from a philosophical and cultural point of view, not from a the stars have actual tangible effects on our lives, but rather looking at what exactly is this observing and tracking. And I was honestly surprised. Time portal. I was honestly surprised by a lot of the points that she made. She pointed to a lot of very unexpected. Oh, the music. Oh man. Anyway, she pointed to a lot of unexpected. What would be the term? Not coincidences. But coincidences, that you would not otherwise expect if it were complete bullshit, right? That there are some real and significant, verifiable, traceable characteristics that are common, at least within a particular culture, to people who were born around the same time of the year. Now, she's perfectly open to the explanation that a lot of this is due to cultural cycles. That if your birthday is a certain time of the year, or you were born at a certain time of the year, then it has a lot to do with early childhood development. It has a lot to do with how you grew up, right? Like, for example, I'm a Leo, for what it's worth. It's probably not much, but for what it's worth, that means my birthday is near the end of the summer. It was right before school started. I tend to be that may perhaps have some impact on how I grew up in our society, right? Then again, if I had been born, several hundred years ago, that might have had vastly different effects. I would have been born shortly before the harvest, or between sowing and reaping, say. Right? But these might have vastly different effects, but they could have measurable effects. And beyond that, there is, symbolic meaning to them all, which is also significant in very different ways. But like I said, I do think that there is something to astrology. It just is absolutely not a causal mechanism between the position of the stars and human personality. Katie was her name. That she had actually got me fairly convinced that there is at least something to astrology. It's just not. It's not the supernatural woo-woo that a lot of people think it is. That part is unserious. It's fundamentally unserious, and she treated it as fundamentally unserious in her research. But what she did was take the ideas seriously that there is this kind of causal connection, or at least that there is this sort of coincidental connection, and to look for a mechanism for it. So there's something really interesting about that, at least. No, okay, so philosophy of farts. You might as well study philosophy of farts. Imsim says, is the fart the innermost dream desire of your butt? Something the ancients have pondered for eons. No, it's not. Like, that's the thing, though. Let me put it this way. Astrology is actually something that philosophers, that is, people seeking wisdom, have studied for eons. We shouldn't be that quick to completely dismiss it. Now, dismissing a lot of how it is interpreted and how it's portrayed and how it's used, particularly in today's society, yeah, okay, we can dismiss most of that. But there's probably something there, even if it's purely a merely human sociological impact, a sociological effect, or a childhood development, something like that. If it's just that, if it's something purely naturalistic that doesn't have to do with any kind of spooky causality, there's nothing condemnable about it. So here's the thing, Imsimsa asks, doesn't the church condemn it as soothsaying? If it is meant to, if you're doing astrology as an attempt to glean arcane information, that is to say, if you're trying to learn something about the unknown future, to make the unknown future known, that's divination, right? That's foreboding. That's not okay. If what you're doing is trying to assemble, say, personality commonalities, right? Commonalities of personality types based upon birth time, something like that. Something that is going to be, how do I put this? naturalistically predictive of personality traits throughout life, say. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing intrinsically, like, there's nothing religiously wrong with that. There's nothing impious about that. That's just developmental psychology, frankly. And if that's what we are studying when we're studying astrology, cool. That's interesting. Of course, that's not what a lot of, astrology girls are into and are actually doing. They're doing the soothsaying. They're doing the divination. They're doing the superstition. And that's not okay. But quite frankly, that's not what the colleague I was talking about was doing. She started looking into it because she was kind of interested in that sort of thing. She's kind of a hippie. But I think that, like I said, you can study these sorts of things without going that route. Anyway, before I begin the Temple of Time, because this is a whole dungeon. It's quite a long dungeon, if I recall. Because it involves the Dominion Rod, as I recall. Oh, and it has a goodie. There's a spider boss. Forgot about the spider boss. Anyway, we'll tackle all of that next time, shall we? A little early to end, but I think I'm going to call it there. So thank you all so much for joining me. I know we were talking earlier about the problem of evil. Imsip, it was for your sister, I think, right? If I remember right. I will put a link to a video or two of mine on the problem of evil in the description. So check that out. Check that out. Might be fun, might be useful for you, that sort of thing. In any case, thank you for joining me. Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful week. Until next time. And until then, remember, don't be safe. Be well. And more importantly, be good. Good night, folks.